Hi everyone. I wanted to say a few words about how roles can be used and how they can potentially impact status issues. In both Bowler's book and the Smarter Together book, they discuss that children will naturally decide who's smart and who is less smart, and they will use this information to assign status if left to their own devices. This is how we end up with the common problem of one person doing all the work. These status issues will naturally occur, and we really can't change that. Bowler's book offers several ways to combat this issue, things we do have control over, including offering tasks that are multidimensional, assigning competence, and using roles. I've had mixed experiences with roles, and mathematical mindsets doesn't really address these issues. Smarter Together does a better job. The thing about roles is that many times they can seem contrived, or we put them in place but don't really use them. There are a couple of ways that I've seen roles work well. If there's a long-term project or course built around the need for certain roles, for example, a school newspaper or website, then each person's role is inherently necessary in order for the product to get done. Also, there's usually some intrinsic motivation because the role is chosen based on interest or skill. The other way that roles can be used is as a way for a teacher to organize various duties for group members and assign competence. Bowler's book proposes using 4 roles, each role having certain responsibilities. My personal feeling that was confirmed during a recent class I took with some very experienced math teachers is that you can decide as a teacher which roles do what, and it doesn't even matter how they're labeled or if the duties change from day to day. They could be colors, letters, animals, or whatever. So for example, you could say, I would like all the facilitators to make sure that the group gets off to a quick start. And when groups are ready for materials, send the resource manager to the back table. Or once the group is finished, number 1, send the reporter to check in with me about some missing information. These directions could easily be send the alligators to the back table to receive materials, or all blue group members are responsible for making sure the group gets off to a quick start. Also, position can be used to identify people responsible for various things. I use the first person in the group list as an online way to identify a needed role. This is one thing that I don't think Bowler's book addresses. The second piece of using this method is that it can be a way of assigning competence. So when you give responsibilities to students, it can increase their status within a group. Some responsibilities will do this less, and some may do it more or make it more apparent. But anytime you assign a responsibility to a student, it makes the other group members rely on that member in some way. One responsibility that increases status a lot is when you give one student information or materials that the other group members will need in order to solve the problem. For example, in this week's task, maybe after students have grappled with the problem for a short time, all facilitators are instructed to come meet with the teacher, and they might get a formula sheet to take back to their group. Or perhaps the teacher requests a huddle with all red group members to clear up a misconception that she's noticed. These 2 examples really increase status. I hope my dogs were not too disruptive during this lecture. And I hope that that helps think about roles a little bit, because it can be an area of confusion and also just frustration for teachers in group work.